Old age brings something rare and surprisingly powerful: clarity. After decades of relationships, sacrifices, disappointments, and lessons learned the hard way, many older people finally see one truth very clearly: not everyone deserves access to you anymore. Time feels different now, energy is limited, and peace becomes non-negotiable. That's why elders often say this: in old age, protecting yourself from the wrong people is just as important as taking care of your health, sometimes even more. So let's talk about the people wise elders quietly step away from. The first is the constant critic. You know this person. They always find something wrong: how you live, how you eat, how you spend money, even how you rest. They disguise judgment as concern, but every conversation leaves you feeling smaller, weaker, or somehow inadequate. At this stage of life, your nervous system cannot afford constant negativity. Chronic criticism raises stress, weakens immunity, and slowly steals joy. Elders say this very clearly: no one earns the right to drain your peace, not even family. The second person to avoid is the emotional user. These people show up only when they need something: money, support, attention, validation, and disappear the moment you need care. Many older people realize too late they were valued for what they gave, not for who they were. In old age, relationships must be mutual. If someone keeps taking without giving emotional respect in return, distance isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. If this already feels uncomfortable but true, pause for a moment. You're not alone in this realization. The third person to avoid is the chronic drama carrier. Some people live in chaos and unconsciously pull everyone around them into it. Arguments, conflicts, gossip, emotional storms that never seem to end. Older people often say this is one of the fastest ways to age poorly. Constant emotional turbulence raises blood pressure, disrupts sleep, and keeps the body stuck in survival mode. Peaceful aging requires emotional boundaries. Drama is a young person's game. Elders choose calm. The fourth person to avoid is the one who invalidates your experiences. They dismiss your pain, your memories, your wisdom. They say things like, "That was a long time ago," or "You're too sensitive," or "You should be over it by now." But older people carry decades of lived experience. When someone repeatedly minimizes that, it creates emotional loneliness, even in company. Respect is not optional in old age. If someone cannot honor your story, they do not deserve proximity. The fifth person to avoid is the controller. This might be a family member, an adult child, or a relative who tries to manage your choices: where you live, how you spend, what you eat, how you rest, without respecting your autonomy. Many older people say this is one of the most painful dynamics. Aging already involves loss of control in some areas. Losing dignity should never be one of them. Advice is welcome. Control is not. When someone treats you like a burden instead of a person, distance becomes an act of self-respect. And the sixth and final person to avoid is the guilt tripper. This person uses obligation, sacrifice, or family duty to manipulate you emotionally. They remind you of what you owe, what you should do, or how disappointed they'll be if you choose yourself. Older people realize that guilt is one of the strongest tools used to keep them emotionally trapped. But guilt has no place in peaceful aging. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to choose what protects your health and happiness. Here's what older people understand that younger people often don't. Loneliness is not the worst thing in old age. Being surrounded by people who drain you is far worse. Emotional stress accelerates aging
faster than solitude ever will. That's why many older people become quieter, more selective, and more protective of their inner world. It's not bitterness, it's wisdom. Avoiding harmful people doesn't mean cutting everyone off. It means choosing depth over obligation, respect over familiarity, peace over appearances. Some of the most damaging relationships exist simply because we've always been close, or they're family. But age teaches this hard truth. Shared blood does not excuse emotional harm. The happiest elders are not the most surrounded, they are the most protected. They know who to keep close and who to love from a distance. Because when time feels finite, every interaction costs energy, and wise elders spend that energy carefully. Many say they wish they had learned this sooner. The body may weaken with age, but the soul needs safety more than ever. Stress that felt tolerable at 40 becomes dangerous later. And that is why choosing peace is one of the bravest decisions an elder can make.